Yo, what's going on everybody, Sloth here, hope you're having another awesome day, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use Valkyrie, a little guide, some tips and tricks on how to put her 20-inch biceps into good use. Now she's not the easiest character to play on this game, as I'm all sure you're aware of if you have started playing her by now, but hopefully when you watch this video I'm going to give you some tips that should help you out online. Before I do get into this video, I just want to say a huge thank you to all you guys that have been supporting my previous videos. I made a few character guide videos on For Honor, and the support on some of them have been absolutely fantastic. The Conqueror one especially, you guys were commenting on it, leaving likes, and it really does mean a lot to me when you do that. So please feel free to check out them videos if you haven't seen them already. I'm going to leave the links down to them all in the description within this video. But without further ado, let's get into some of the Valkyrie's pros and cons. So to start off with, you've got her range. Now she is a spear class, so naturally she's going to have good range, you know, makes sense, right? But her range didn't seem as good as Nabushi's. That just might be me, I might be wrong there, but that's just something I felt like she couldn't reach as far as Nabushi could, but she definitely has got good range and will put opponents on the back foot if you can keep your distance. Now another thing with her is her speed, similar to Nabushi. She is quick, not as quick as Nabushi again, but she is very quick within the game. She does have a side dodge move, which I always think is really good on characters. If they can dodge to the side and hit an attack, it just gives you another string to your bow, if you know what I mean, if you're familiar with that saying. And then another one on the pros there, sorry, is the block and dodge. Now Valkyrie has a all block stance move, where if you dash backwards and hold X, you will go into an all block stance, and when you do that, you basically block from all directions if you haven't played a character with it before. Characters that have it already are the Conqueror and the Warlord, and Valkyrie has it as well, but you can only access that stance by doing that dodge back. But what's interesting with Valkyrie is when you do that stance and you dodge back, if you release it straight away, you will do like an unblockable shoulder charge, and then you can follow that up with the jump spear attack, which is forward on the stick, jump and tap button, which is very good. But also you can cancel it, so you don't have to hit them with the unblockable shield attack. You can just dodge straight from it and cancel it into an attack. So it's a little bit of a mix-up, and it just gives your opponents another thing that they have to worry about. If you hold it down for longer, you will also push them further back, and you'll also push them on the floor. So it's a guaranteed way to get someone on the floor, which is awesome. And then the next pro there is CC, and what I mean with that is crowd control. So if you haven't come across that before, that's what CC means. And what crowd control means is the ability to put your opponent into a state where they're not in control. So for instance, when you take them to the ground with an unblockable sweep, or you shoulder barge them to the ground, or you shoulder bash them, or you guard break them, they're not in control. You've controlled them, and they're in a state where they can't do anything. That's basically, in a butchered sense, what crowd control means. And she has a lot of that in terms of her combos that she can do, and I'm going to show you those later on in the video, so please stay for that. Now let's go through some of her cons. First off, she's hard to play. She's not the easiest character to just pick up and start playing. You are going to have to spend some time with her to get used to her, but don't let that put you off, because when you do get used to her, she's really rewarding to play. She's a lot different to a lot of the other characters that I've played. I feel like she felt very unique, which a lot of the classes do, which is another fantastic thing about this game. Yeah, she is slightly hard to play, and I found it hard to hit her heavy. That links into hard to play, but I didn't put damage, as you can see in one of the pros. I didn't want to put it as a con, because the damage isn't bad, because most damage from characters is going to come from hitting heavy attacks, but hitting heavy attacks with Valkyrie isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. Her combo enders, where you do a sweep, don't deal damage, I don't think, but even if they do, it's not fantastic damage. So hitting heavy attacks for her is kind of difficult, and therefore her damage isn't the best. If you can't hit heavy attacks, you're not doing that much damage, if that makes sense. But there are ways around it. Like I've said, I'm not a full master with this class yet. I have learned some of the basic combos, and she is good, but just in terms of converting CC into damage can sometimes be a bit of an issue, so bear that in mind with that class. Now, the bad matchups, Orochi, again. Again, this son of a bitch, I just can't deal with him. He's just so quick, and he caused me a lot of problems even when playing as Valkyrie. I did manage to keep him back a few rounds when I do play against him, but he still finds his way to destroy my life. And then the Raider. I find this quite strange. Usually I don't struggle against the Raider, but with the Valkyrie I played against two, and both of them were pretty good. Again, this might be because I played against a good Raider compared to a terrible Raider, so a lot of it does depend on the player. but he was very strong, the raider that I played against, and he would constantly jump and like, I don't know what the move is called, like it's like a jumping butt attack, and they hit you with the butt of their weapon on your head, and it causes you a lot of trouble basically, and you can't see where your next attack's coming from. And they just caused me a lot of trouble. Now, there might be ways around that. It would have helped if I'd blocked in the right direction when I was playing against them. But like I say, I found it difficult to play against the raider. You guys might find otherwise. Please let me know in the comments below who you struggle with Valkyrie, and also who you do well against with Valkyrie. I actually found like I did good against Nobushi for once. She's not on this list. I played against a few, and I did really well against them. So that's a positive. And also the Peacekeeper I did relatively well against, but I only played against the one Peacekeeper, so it might have been a case that the player I played against wasn't that great. But please leave in the comments below who you think she's good against, who you think she's bad against. I'd really appreciate that. Now I'm going to be getting into the basically bread and butter moves that the Valkyrie has and how to use them effectively, and also I'm going to be going over some of her bread and butter combos and how you should be using them online. Okay, so I'll see you in a second, guys. Alrighty then, guys. Hope you brought your notepads. Do need to rewind the video at any point if I'm going too quick. Feel free to do so. I'm going to be going over a lot of examples, so hopefully there will be enough time to see everything. And I'm going to be slowing some of the clips down. So the first move I want to go over is the shoulder pin. I've seen a lot of people asking how you perform this move. Now, the shoulder pin is a very difficult move to pull off. It's not easy by any means, so it's up to you if you want to do it within game. Especially when you're starting out, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Well, actually, you know, don't listen to me. If you want to do it, you do it. So how you perform the shoulder pin: dashing in the direction that an attack is coming from, and then pressing the heavy attack button, and you have to do it at the same time. I find it easiest to perform it when dashing towards the opponent when they're attacking from above, but I have got an example as well of when I do perform it from the right hand side. Now, what the shoulder pin actually does, if you don't know, is it applies a bleed effect to an enemy, and you can combo off of it. They're briefly stunned for a second, as you can see on screen here. Once I perform the move, they're stunned for about a second or so. So it's a very effective move if you can pull it off. So it does take some practicing and getting used to. I haven't fully mastered it yet myself, but I can imagine when you do get it down, it's a really, really useful tool in the Valkyrie's toolbox. Just to add on to that there, guys, when I'm talking about how to actually perform the move, what I mean by doing it at the same time is when you dash towards your opponent, when you dash in the direction the attack's coming from, you're not always going to hit the attack's not always going to hit your shield, and I don't fully understand yet why that is. Maybe I'm not close enough, but to actually perform the move, when you dash in the direction, their attack needs to hit your shield, and your shield will glow orange, and there will be a sound cue. You will actually hear the attack hitting your shield, and once you've done it a few times, you will understand that that's the cue to do it. So you will dash in the direction the attack's coming from. If you're close enough, their attack will hit your shield. When their attack hits your shield, that is your cue to press the heavy attack button. It's not easy, I understand, to do that straight away when you're first learning to do it. So I at first was basically just pressing them at the same time. There was dodging and dashing, and you do get it every so often. But if you want to get it more consistently, that is the way to do it. So I just thought I'd add that in there. Alright then, guys, now I'm going to be going over the Valkyrie shield tackle ability. You will have seen me demonstrating this ability earlier on in the gameplay. Now, how to perform this ability, all you're going to want to do is dash backwards and hold down X. Now, depending on when you let go of X, depends on how the move will turn out. So if you dash backwards, hold X and immediately release it, your character will move probably a few feet and then will shoulder bash the enemy. If you hold it down for a longer period of time, once you have dashed backwards, your character will run further forwards, but not only that, when they connect with the enemy will be pushed further back and will stumble over. It's a guaranteed way to put your opponent on the floor, which is what we want. Now, some useful things to know about this move is, if you get good with it and you get quick with it, you can automatically always block an enemy's attack. Now, what I mean by this is, you may have seen it in an example earlier in the gameplay I was showing, but when an Orochi is going to do his lunging attack towards you, you know, where he puts his sword by his side and you know he's going to dash towards you, if you wait for him to do that, and the second that he gets close to you, dash back and do this, you can block his attack, but not only that, you can then return with your shield bash, and then you've got him on the back foot. So this move is really useful. It's one of the basics for Valkyrie, so you want to get it down. You want to get the timing right so that you can do it in a pinch and in a situation where you're under a lot of pressure, and it can really help turn the tide of a fight. Alright then guys, let's take a look at some of the Valkyrie's bread and butter combos. She has a variety of combos like every other character does. Now I'm going to be going over my favourite combos and the ones that I think are most effective. Okay, so I do believe her normal light combo attack is very effective as well. I'm not going to be showing that on screen here because that's pretty simple to do. All you do is press the light attack buttons 3 times in a row, and it does end the combo with a light attack where you end up leaving your opponent not knowing when you're going to attack next. When you hit them in the head, they get dazed. My favourite combo is I think it's the shoulder crush into the spear sweep it's called, and how it is performed is heavy attack into a shoulder dash, which is X, and then you need to do heavy attack again whilst pulling back on the left stick, and what that will do is sweep your opponent, as you can see I'm doing on screen there. Now you've got a few options of what you can do once they're on the floor. You can either follow up with a jumping spear attack, which is done by holding forward on the stick A and then light attack, and you will do a lunging spear attack, and then you can do what you want from there. Or you can go for the combo again, where you do a heavy attack into another shoulder bash into another sweep, and it's almost a chain. You can continuously do this until you run out of stamina. Or what you can do is a mix-up, which I like to do, which I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but if you do a heavy attack with Valkyrie, you can cancel it into a shoulder bash. So when you're halfway through your heavy attack, if you hold down X, you can do a shoulder bash, and I have demonstrated this a few times on screen, so hopefully you have seen that. Now, I also want to let you guys know that you can do this combo after you have done a guard break into a ram's headbutt. Now Valkyrie, I didn't know if you knew this as well, can do a ram's headbutt. So what that basically is when you've guard broke someone, if you hold down X for an extended period of time, similar to the shoulder bash, the longer you hold it down, it's going to come out differently, but if you hold it down for a long time, you hit them with the headbutt, they get forced backwards, and they also drains quite a lot of their stamina, and from that you can repeat the same combo, heavy into a shoulder bash into another sweep, and there you can cause your opponent a lot of problems. So they're the combos I like to do when playing as Valkyrie. I feel like they're the most effective ones you can do. If you guys play Valkyrie and you think of other combos you want to show me, please let me know. I also do believe that you doing a light attack chain into the sweep is a very good thing, and you can do that as well. So you basically perform that by pressing light attack, and then you go into a heavy attack holding back on the stick, and you'll sweep your opponent from there. And then you can go into the same thing again. You can either lunge and stab them again, or you can go into that same combo of heavy attack, shield bash, heavy attack as they are getting back off the floor. So she has got a lot of versatility to her, and she is quite hard to master, but I really hope you guys have learned something from this video and you found some value in it. I really hope you have, and I hope this helps you out when you are playing. Now, I've really tried to make this video the best that I could, and so it explains as most as I could. She is very complex, and I hope I've covered enough for you guys to get a base and an understanding of how she plays, and that can help you out online. If you did like the video, please let me know, and please give me a like. It really means a lot to me to know that you guys like the content I'm putting out there, and please give me a comment. I love hearing what you guys have to say, and if you think the video was good, bad, and how it can be improved, I'm really looking for feedback. So thank you ever so much for watching, guys, and please enjoy your day. Bye bye.